Welcome to Roll Credits, where we dive into the trivia, stories, and hidden gems behind your favorite movies and shows. This show is created with the help of AI tools, and while we do our best to keep everything accurate and fun, there may occasionally be errors or outdated info. So if you're citing facts to impress someone, maybe double-check and enjoy the show. Today, we're taking a look at FUBAR, Season 1 of the Netflix series that marked Arnold Schwarzenegger's official TV debut. We're talking action, awkward father-daughter spy dynamics, and all the behind-the-scenes fun that went into this wild ride of a show.
Okay, let's unpack this. FUBAR Season 1. It landed on Netflix with a premise that, grabs you right away. You've got Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Luke Brenner,
Right.
a really seasoned CIA guy who is this really close to finally retiring. And the whole time, his entire career, he's kept this secret life completely hidden from his family.
Which, yeah, we've seen that before. It's like a whole second job on top of the actual spying.
Totally. But just as he's about to, hang up his hat, he gets roped into one last mission. Gotta extract an asset. And guess who the asset is?
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
His daughter, Emma, who is also secretly a CIA spy.
Wow. Talk about an awkward family reunion moment. Oh, hey, you do this too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it just forces them immediately into this partnership, their mission, take down Bora Polonia. He's this dangerous arms dealer, illegal arms, and he's got ties to Luke's past, and now he's trying to get his hands on a nuclear weapon. So you've got, global espionage, big action scenes,
Right.
all smashed together with their super complicated, previously secret father-daughter stuff.
It really grounds all that big spy action, doesn't it? It makes it feel, well, maybe not relatable in the exact same way, but the family drama part is just, amplified.
It definitely is, and the show mixes those genres up. It's a spy thriller, sure, but there's a lot of action, comedy, even some quite serious dramatic bits.
And it's rated TVMA.
Yeah, mostly for language and violence, so it's definitely for adults.
Yeah.
And the title itself, FUBAR, that's old military slang, right?
Mhm.
From World War II. FA up beyond all recognition, which honestly is pretty fitting for both their missions and their relationship.
Huh. Okay, yeah, perfect title then. And Season 1 dropped all at once, 8 episodes.
Yep, classic Netflix binge model, all 8 there from day one.
So, shifting gears a bit from the story to actually making the show, the production sounds like it was pretty spread out.
It was. Filming happened across continents. They were in Antwerp, Belgium,
Oh, nice.
and also a lot in and around Toronto, Canada. They even mentioned smaller spots like Elora, Ontario.
Filming in places like Antwerp, on location rather than just a studio backlot, that must bring its own set of challenges.
Oh, absolutely. It means the crew has to be super adaptable. And you kind of see hints of that. Like there was this detail about a huge crane they had on set with a big white sheet.
Okay, what was that for?
Well, it's actually a pretty common trick in the industry. They use it as like a massive lighting rig or maybe even a diffuser, maybe to control the light if it suddenly started raining or something. It just shows that behind the scenes cleverness you need.
Little practical solutions for big production problems. Makes sense.
And the timeline, you mentioned they wrapped pretty fast.
Yeah, it sounded pretty tight. Filming started around April 2022, and they were done by September 2022,
Wow.
which is pretty quick, actually. Each episode was apparently filmed in about 8 to 10 days. For a show mixing action and comedy like this, that means everyone needs to be really on their game. Quick timing, hitting marks.
You mentioned comedy, and it sounds like it wasn't all serious spy business on set. The sources said the crew had some fun, put in some jokes.
Totally. There's this great little detail about a sign that popped up somewhere saying Jack Slater Memorial Park.
No way! From Last Action Hero.
Exactly. It suggests the crew are having a bit of fun, throwing in little nods to Arnold's past movies, maybe even tying it to where they were filming. It shows that kind of fun atmosphere,
Those little things probably make the long days way better. And hey, if you watched the season and wanted more laughs, apparently there's a blooper reel. Yeah, Netflix released one after they announced Season 2 was happening. Always fun to see those.
And Arnold himself, what did he think about doing a TV show?
Well, he reflected on it and said FUBAR let him use his, quote, whole inventory as an actor.
His whole inventory.
Yeah, like his action side, the intense moments, his specific kind of humor, and even some sincere stuff.
Yep.
He actually pitched it as a good starting point for someone who'd never seen his movies before, saying it shows his range.
That's quite the statement from Arnold himself.
Yeah.
And his co-star, Monica Barbaro, who plays Emma,
Yeah.
she shared something about filming, right? Like a specific scene.
Oh, yeah, the puppet scene. Apparently they could barely get through it without laughing, took loads of takes.
They can imagine.
And Monica mentioned that some of the yelling and even a door slam in that scene weren't scripted. They just kind of happened in the moment, added to the chaos, and it worked perfectly for that father-daughter comedy vibe. Sounds like they had real chemistry.
That's great. Okay, now, for the real fans, one of the biggest kicks of this show has got to be all the little nods and references to Arnold's massive film career hidden throughout season 1. It's like a whole scavenger hunt.
Oh, absolutely. A real treasure trove. And they go from really subtle to, like, right there in your face. A great one is the scene after Luke and his ex-wife, Tally. They sort of reconnect.
Okay.
And the song I Only Have Eyes for You starts playing, and the camera cuts to Luke, and he's got this very specific, kind of goofy grin.
Why is the grin important? Is that from something?
It is. It's a direct visual callback to a moment, and that exact expression from the movie Twins.
Oh, with Danny DeVito.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a little visual treat for anyone who remembers that movie.
Speaking of Danny DeVito, Luke Brunner has this catchphrase he keeps using, right? That's it. That's all. He tries to pass it off as his own invention.
He does. But later on, he actually admits he didn't make it up. He completely stole it from the movie Throw Mama from the Train.
Did you go, yeah?
Yep, just because he's a huge Danny DeVito fan, which is amazing because Arnold and Danny DeVito are actually good friends in real life. It's like layers of meta jokes.
Okay, that's pretty funny. And obviously you have to have this line in an Arnold project.
You know the one, "Get to the chopper" from Predator.
There it is. How do they use it in FUBAR?
Well, Luke actually yells "choppa" in episode 2. It's during this really tense scene on a train, and a helicopter is coming towards them. He delivers it with that perfect mix of, like, urgency, but also slight absurdity.
Just like the original.
Pretty much. And what's even funnier is how they play with it later. Someone uses the phrase "choppa parenting."
Choppa parenting.
Yeah.
Like helicopter parenting.
Exactly. It shows the writers knew how much fans love that line and found clever ways to weave it in beyond just quoting it directly.
Love that. Okay, so beyond the lines, there are even sneakier references. Hidden in, like numbers.
Oh yeah, these are for the really observant fans. You might see a close-up on a case file, and the number on it actually matches the badge number for Kimball.
Arnold's character from Kindergarten Cop. The undercover teacher.
That's the one. Then another file number shown is the actual serial number for the original T-800 from the Terminator.
Whoa, the cyborg itself.
Mm-hmm. And there's another one, a license plate number that's pulled straight from Last Action Hero. These are like deep cuts. You really need to know his filmography to catch them. Super rewarding for the dedicated fans.
A proper cinematic scavenger hunt baked right into the show.
Mm.
Okay, so this spy family isn't just Luke and Emma. They have a whole team, right, supporting them.
They do. And the cast around Arnold and Monica Barbaro is pretty stacked.
So obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, first TV series ever after that huge movie career. And Monica Barbaro as Emma, fresh off Top Gun, Maverick, and shows like Unreal. Who else is key?
Well, you've got Jay Baruchel playing Carter. He's Emma's fiancé, and he has absolutely no idea she's a spy. Creates all sorts of awkward, funny moments. You'll know Jay from stuff like Goon or voicing Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon.
Right.
Then, providing the crucial tech support behind the keyboard, is Milan Carter as Barry. He's the team's computer genius. Milan's been in shows like Warped and The Neighborhood.
And they also have Aparna Brielle as Tina. She's an NSA analyst on loan to the CIA team. Super smart.
Yeah, and Aparna actually talked about playing Tina. She said it was challenging, lots of fast-paced lines, tech jargon.
I bet.
She also mentioned feeling like the newcomer on set, kind of like Tina is the newcomer on the team. She called it art imitating life. But she said working with Arnold was amazing, gracious, funny, made everyone feel like part of the team. You might know her from AP Bio.
That's cool to hear.
Yeah.
And out in the field with Luke and Emma.
You've got the great duo of Travis Van Winkle as Alden and Fortune Feimster as Rue. Travis plays Alden. He's the slick, sharp-dressed operative, always cracking jokes. He was in You and the Last Ship.
Yeah.
And Fortune Feimster, the comedian, she plays Rue. She's Alden's best friend on the team, brings amazing comedic timing. They say she's good at launching bombs, both literal and verbal, I guess. Their banter is a big source of humor. Fortune has her own stand-up special and was on The Mindy Project.
Great pairing. And the villain, Borrell Polonia.
Played by Gabriel Luna. He brings this charisma to Borrow, even though he's, a really bad dude dealing arms. Luna was fantastic recently in The Last of Us, and he played Ghost Rider on Agents of SHIELD before that. Shows his range.
Definitely. And then there are the folks in their personal lives.
Yeah.
Some familiar faces there.
Oh, yeah. Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall pops up as Dr. Pfeffer, the CIA psychologist.
Nice.
Fabiana Udinio plays Telly Brunner, Luke's ex-wife, Emma's mom. You might remember her as Alana Fagina from Austin Powers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Andy Buckley, David Wallace from The Office. He plays Donnie, Telly's super nice, very normal boyfriend.
What a cast. It's like a who's who. And wasn't there a cameo, too?
Yep.
Tom Arnold makes an appearance, which is fun because he starred with Schwarzenegger way back in True Lies. Kind of a nice callback, given the show has some similar vibes.
That's perfect. Okay, so stepping back, looking at the whole season, those 8 episodes, they really tell one main story, right? Focused on stopping Boro, but also developing that strained father-daughter thing.
Pretty much. The season traces that arc really clearly.
It kicks off with Take Your Daughter to Work Day. Sets up the whole premise. Luke's supposed retirement, the big Emma reveal.
Right. Then episodes like Stole Train and Honey Plot, that's where they have to start working together. It's awkward. They're figuring it out, dealing with all that history. We'll try not to get killed.
Then things escalate, right? Like Armed and Dangerous with a prison break and Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, where Luke's personal life starts crashing into the mission, puts serious pressure on them. Exactly. And the second half, with Royally Flushed and You're in Luck, they're tackling different kinds of missions, going undercover, sometimes in pretty funny situations like pretending to be rich socialites or a married couple on a cruise, testing their teamwork in new ways.
All leading up to that finale. That's it, and that's all. Which sounds like where everything just explodes.
Oh, it does. The episode starts off looking like things might actually wrap up neatly. Boro seems to be dead.
Seems to be. Uh-oh.
Right. Alden's injured but recovering. Luke is genuinely planning to retire this time. Tally is getting married to Donnie, moving on. It feels like resolution.
But this is a spy show. It's never that clean.
Never. Just when you think, okay, villain gone, spy retired, where does the show go now?
Bam.
Boro shows up at Tally's wedding. Turns out he survived the earlier explosion. He grabs Tally, holds her hostage, forces Luke and Emma into this horrible situation where it looks like they're going to have to shoot each other.
Intense.
Super intense. Until Tally, showing she's got some fight in her, stabs Boro with a medallion.
Whoa. Go Tally.
Right. Gives Luke and Emma the opening they need to finally take him down for good. But even then, it's not over.
Not even close, right? The cliffhanger.
Exactly. The CIA calls Luke. Because of the massive shootout at a public wedding, everyone's cover is blown. The whole team, Luke, Emma, Barry, Alden, Rue, and now Tally, who just found out everything and is completely reeling. They're all compromised. They have to just pile into a van and run.
Leading to Luke's final line.
It's totally a FUBAR. Boom. End season. Massive cliffhanger. Completely changes everything for season 2.
Wow. Okay, so after that ride, how did the season land overall? Sounds like the reception was maybe a bit mixed.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Looking at the sources, it seems opinions were pretty divided. Some people really loved it. They found it fun, cheesy in a good way, entertaining action comedy, exactly what they wanted from an Arnold show, you know? The cheesiness was part of the charm for them.
But others weren't so keen.
Right. Some critics and viewers had issues with the writing, maybe felt some characters weren't fully fleshed out, or didn't like the effects. It seems like maybe they weren't quite looking for the specific tone the show was going for, that blend of silly and serious.
But still, a lot of folks were just happy to see Arnold back doing this kind of thing, right? Even if he's older now.
Absolutely. For many, the big draw was just seeing him back in action, leading a show, bringing that familiar energy.
And hey, despite the mixed reviews, it clearly found its audience. It got renewed for season 2, so plenty of people were tuning in and enjoying it. And it did touch on some interesting themes like the cost of secrets on family, how hard it is to communicate honestly, professional life bleeding into personal life.
Which circles us right back to that ending. Now everyone's cover is blown. Tally, the ex-wife, is suddenly in the know and literally in the escape van with the spy team. The whole keeping secrets conflict that drove so much of season 1 is just gone.
So that leaves you with a really interesting question to chew on. With the secrets out and the entire core group now in the spy game together, on the run, what happens next? What kind of new, maybe even weirder family dynamics pop up when everyone knows the truth and they're all living this dangerous life together? How does that even work?
That wraps up our deep dive into FUBAR Season 1, from Arnold's return to action to the show's blend of heart and havoc.
If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to follow Roll Credits, and if you're feeling generous, leave us a rating or share us with a fellow trivia fan. Until next time, keep your cover intact, and don't forget to check for bugs, literal or surveillance ones.